It's Week 17 of the National Football League. And we'll see Brock Bowers, who's third in the league in catches this season and ready for more this week. It's the Raiders and the Falcons on EA Sports.
And off we go from Las Vegas. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. 13 yards on the game's opening play. Now the first carry here for their running back. Boy, left that first defender grasping at air as he winds up getting a full 8 yards on that play. The numbers for him from a week ago, 17 carries, 60 yards.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Here are the key inactives for this one, Charles. And as you get towards the latter stages of the season, you hope that this is a clean graphic with no names, but well, that's hard to do in the NFL.
Yeah, there's almost no way you think it's going to be like that. It's just a matter of what names are on the list and how you prepare to play without them. Everyone wants to finish strong, but the only way to do it, forget the inactive list and focus on the guys who are going to take the field.
The Raiders at 10-5 to start play, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Short throw caught by Bowers. This defense for the Falcons, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Montez Sweat make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're... But also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 3rd-year quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. You look at this Raiders defense. They're just below the cut line for top half of the league. 17th in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, That's been an issue for them all season long.
And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And his ability to use his legs has given the defense fits when trying to game plan. He's currently 2nd in the NFL in rushing yards by a QB. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. They're going to look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play. And he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it. And he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raiders offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's off to a fast start throwing the football. Pretty good numbers already for just the first quarter of play. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. From the 33, here's 2nd and 5. In motion left goes a tight end. Off the RPO, he completes it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
It's 3rd and 10.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there. And they'll go backwards right away. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and that will come the offense as they take over. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Here's a 2nd and 7. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. In motion, the tight end. Back to throw here. Looking for a slot man, and he's got him. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 27-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He finds his man, complete. It's Steele. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they're able to double their lead in this 1st half. It's 6-0.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They are still in search of their first points in the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a 1st down. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
They'll send the tight end in motion. On play action, they'll throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down. Looking to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw again. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this 1st half of action.
2nd down and 3.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. They'll look to throw again. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Now 3rd and goal following incompletions on 1st and 2nd down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons.
Quentin Johnston,
his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Falcons are an extra point away from capturing the lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it was Quentin Johnston who finished that drive off with a touchdown grab.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. Here is 3rd down and 4.
They'll drop to throw. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they can at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
And he will find his man on the outside. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
And that's going to be incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
He'll get the tight end Bowers involved there.
And they'll get this down to the 10. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And it's caught. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And his kick is indeed good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They'll throw now on the final play. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Falcons offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went into half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
They'll set up to throw.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
He'll drop to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. And that'll bring up fourth down on the big sack with a loss of 5. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
He'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
They'll look to throw here. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
7 yards there and a first down.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry.
He'll take this to the 46.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. In motion goes the tight end. Back to throw.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
Did he get the feed down? Yes! Touchdown. A big play there. 46 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Oh, such great concentration. They're going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There are so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes this a 9-point game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Well, the Falcons back out, getting set for this next drive. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They've got the ball in a great spot here, already inside the red zone following that fumble recovery. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders, but found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick 1st down.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line.
the play fake. He'll look to throw. And the Raiders have got him. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he's still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. They're going to look to throw. Pressure comes and down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen. But somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. And thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
And it will be Falcon football.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They'll set up a throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's good. It cuts it to 2. 16-14 our score. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
And one thing we do know, they will be a part of the playoffs come January. They have clinched the AFC West.
And that feels good for them, but they feel like their work is far from done because as it stands right now, they won't have the first-round bye. But a lot of teams will tell you, that's okay with us. We just want to get to the playoffs and wreak havoc from that point on.
From the 35, here's second down and 3.
At the 35-yard line.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this one is incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down.
Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Throw over the middle, and it's caught by Johnston.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Now 2nd and 3.
Now back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Here's the option.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's a screen for Robinson. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So out come the Raiders. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
At the 17-yard line.
2nd and 11. He finds his man, complete. That's Bowers. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
And the Raider first down. First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
Back to throw here. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
Illegal blocking the ball. Offense.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
Here's a 2nd and 5. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one first down. Now a handoff as they run left side. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's a give up the middle. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So all eyes on the Falcons. Down by 2, 54 seconds to go. And they need about 35 yards to get in range for a winner as they come up on 1st down. He's back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he'll have a 1st down to the 45, but the tackle comes inbounds.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra
Still first down.
that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So after the penalty, a break. 1st and 5.
Back to throw.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
That's pretty difficult to sum it up offense in a 2-minute drill. When your guys have struggled to put points on the board all afternoon, there's an incompletion right there.
He'll look to throw.
A throw left side for Pearsall is complete.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now an all rest on the right foot of their kicker. This from 52, and this for the win. And his kick is absolutely perfect.
So that, Charles, a season long, and since he's a rookie, I guess we can go ahead and call that a career long as well.
I love how you put that together because, you know, so everyone at home was saying, okay, has to be career, right, since he's a rookie. Well done by you, but I definitely like what I've seen from him so far this year. Very distinguished college career. He's looking right at home here in the NFL.
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for Atlanta,
they get back to 500 at 8-8 with 1 game remaining.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.
With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.